everybody. Welcome back to Las Vegas. You are listening to the Crazy Sexy Cool podcast, where we give our black ass millennial opinions about the crazy, the sexy, and the cool hot topics. I am your host, Bethany, and I am joined by Meek. Miss Elizabeth is out on a much-deserved vacation, and I hope she's getting dick down right now. But Meek and I are not alone. We are joined by Woz, aka Big Woz, Wosny Lambre. He is the NBA culture writer for The Athletic, Count the Dean's founder, contributor, and also co-host of the Woke Bros podcast. And he is also a Robin Fenty enthusiast. Welcome
all
to the show. So great to have you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you. Obviously, you guys know I'm big fans of what you guys do. And to mark this occasion, I even lit a candle for y'all. I had to.
Oh,
wow.
My people over at Hawthorne sent this over, and I was like, you know what? I gotta get the mood right. Like some incense in here, get some candles going. We gotta get the mood right in here.
I like that. So is that like a massage oil candle, or is just like just strictly smell good?
I think it's just to smell good. It's just to smell
Okay.
good. This is like some pear something. I forget the actual,
Well, don't turn it
flavor.
upside down to figure it out.
No. We will not be turning it upside down. We need the vibes going tonight.
Does it actually work? Because some of those candles, like if you get like the nasty, and it's not even cheap candles. Some candles work, some candles don't work.
I mean, it smells pretty good. I'm not even
Okay,
off
it's
front.
working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hawthorne is doing their thing, and shouts to them for sponsoring us.
I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. I need some of those, like, for my little ambiance that I like. I like to light incense. I'm a candle girl, but I have burnt all my shit out. I haven't, shot for anything.
We got to get you right. Don't worry. We're going to get both of y'all right. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Nice. To Hawthorne, anything that has a linen smell, a water smell. I really don't do nice with pears, but like fruits I do like. I am definitely a candle whore. Like I spend like over $200 a month on candles. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I do.
Wow.
Because I light them every day, all day. I cleanse with them. I relax with them. I got candles for every occasion.
Yeah, I hope everybody who's listening, if you can't get her a Birkin, get her some good candles, y'all.
There you
That
go.
part.
Much more
Ow.
affordable.
Yes. So, to welcome you to the show, we're going to play an incredible game of Fuck, Marry, Kill. Okay? So, I have questions for you, Woz, and Meek, of course. Meek, do you have questions for the both of us, or just Woz today?
I didn't know I was shooting them at you. I just set some
No,
up for our special guest. I know you
would
didn't
like
want
to
to play this game, on, so I came. I came.
Okay, I want you to go first then.
No.
No?
Oh, go
shit.
first.
Okay. So, Fuck, Marry, Kill. This one is a special edition, okay? This is the rapper edition. So, Fuck, Marry, Kill. Meg Thee Stallion, Rhapsody, Cardi B.
Ooh, okay. Rhapsody off the top she's getting killed. Sorry, Rhapsody. She just
my
I'm
North
sorry.
Carolina.
Too much bars, not enough sex talk in her music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard for me to believe that she would be a tigress in bed the way I know these other two are. So because of that, Rhapsody off the bat is gone now. Man, I probably have to fuck Meg Thee Stallion, and I'm marrying Cardi B because, as you can see, she's a rider. Okay?
Yeah.
When she first got in the game, she was dating a dude who was in prison. And she stayed loyal to a dude in prison. And now you see the stuff with Offset. He's made his mistakes, but she's been very forgiving. Because she's such a rider, I gotta go with Cardi. Gotta marry Cardi.
So you don't think Meg's a writer for her to date someone that, I don't think is on her level, in Tory Lanez?
I mean, she did go on Instagram and basically tell the police that he shot her. So I wouldn't call that riding. You know what I'm saying? We call that something else where I'm from. So
wow. So we gonna call her a bitch?
I didn't.
Yo.
Hey,
I'm show is gonna be fun. I'm yeah, boy.
Okay. All right. So, Meek, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you. Fuck, marry, or kill.
Look, he always gives me some off the wall shit. Always. Go ahead.
You know what? This is different today because I'm going to ask fuck, marry, kill. It's the NBA edition. So, and I'll tell you why after. So, fuck, marry, kill. Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. Going back to 2000. What's up?
Okay. Oh my God. Tracy, Allen, or who? Vince Carter. I'm marrying Vince Carter, hands down. Like straight up.
Okay.
Hands down.
Why?
Man, you understand? I used to have a crush on Vince Carter, like back in the day. Like, and like I just think he's fucking amazing.
Half man, half amazing.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna fuck Tracy. And I'm gonna kill out AI. You know why? Because me and AI both got big ass personalities, and ain't no fucking going on between the two of us. Like, and also a nigga that can't practice, like, nigga, you need practice. Like, so like, you're going to have to practice, okay? Like, you're not gonna just come out the gate just knowing what the fuck to do. So, like, you know, just off of that, yeah.
This crazy sexy cool. So we gotta give the people tea. But I've heard personal stories that AI he's a trick. Like straight up and down. Every time he slices a shorty, 5,000 on the dresser. Woo! That's for you. Yeah. AI is generous.
That's a big
I've
fish.
seen him in action. I used to live in Minneapolis. I used to work at this nightclub, and I used to have everybody come through. So whenever they come to town, tables, bottles, whatever. Which was crazy. He was not drinking AI. He was not drinking that night.
Wow.
And this was, I heard rumors that he was like, an alcoholic or whatever, but he wasn't drinking that night. He made sure everybody else was, but his boy manager, I'm not sure who he was just kind of swiping through photos of girls, and he would swipe and AI would look, shake his head. Nah, next girl, boom, next girl. Yeah. And I was just like, yo, he is like, this is 2010. Like, this is a Tinder moment. Like, live in person, he's just swiping until he saw a girl that he liked. And so after he saw that picture, he was like, all right, let's go. And everybody picked up, walked out. He was like, you can ride with me because I parked at the Players Hotel. So I'm like, cool. It's cold as shit. So if I can get a ride to my car in Minneapolis, I'm going. And plus, I'm riding with AI. I'm a huge basketball fan, and he is a legend. So I don't care what level of basketball fandom you are. You're an Allen Iverson fan, and for 100%. What he's done for the culture. So he's clowning, telling hella jokes. He's like the funniest dude, I think. But I'm waiting on my car, and I see the shorty from the picture. When I tell you it was like 15 minutes, she was there waiting. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. But I mean, she wasn't a looker, but her body was sick. But yeah, so the reason I asked about fuck, marry, kill, the NBA edition, I just saw a recent cover of Slam. They did like this Philly edition, and they recreated a very iconic photo of Allen Iverson. And when I saw the photo, my breath was taken away, and not in a good way. I was so disappointed because Allen Iverson was a lot of girls' crush coming up. Like, he's fine.
I mean, you know how many niggas got braids just off of AI alone?
He said
single-handedly.
All that.
A lot of people speak of Jordan about how he changed the culture of basketball, but AI is definitely another one. Like, I'm talking down like Jordan brought the shorts to the knees. AI brought the shorts to the ankles. You know what I mean?
Right. It's niggas still trying to figure out how to do that fishbone cornrows that he had. Right.
I used to get my hair braided like him. Like, he was a cultural icon, but I was so devastated to see that photo of him. I was like, he's only 45. There's no reason that he should look like that. Now, I understand he has put in hella work. He's a Hall of Famer, and he has every right to just kind of let it go. But when women do this, they are immediately trashed. Like, let's revisit when Layla Rashawn was getting cheated on by her husband with Nicole Murphy, and people was like,
Right.
"See, Layla doesn't look the same. She looks, she fell off." Nigga, look at AI right now. I am heartbroken to see how crazy
Oh
she is
man.
right now. I like sent this. I sent this picture to my brother, my homies. Like, yo, look at this dude, and they're like, oh, he's getting old or whatever. He can. No, I don't like the double standard in,
But
like, people fall off. I don't like that.
no, right, but technically, wouldn't that be on us though? Like when you say the double standard, like the guys are attracted to the girl, which is holding her at that standard. It's us that's not holding men to that standard of, hey, like, you need to keep yourself up. So that's on us. That's not on dudes. That's when it comes down to a parent.
Alan Ezell Iverson. We need to have a conversation. If we need to hit the gym, or because I know that's not his thing, so that's not gonna work. I don't know.
B, he needs you to go by Philly and go cook him up, something. Take the carbs out. You know what I mean? Maybe too much Twinkies.
Meal prep, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Something. He needs to lay off the Applebee's and Fridays.
Yeah, or too much Cheesecake Factory for AI, for sure.
No more alcohol. Cut all that. That's nothing. Men miss like they misunderstand like how impactful alcohol is on the body. Like, dude be like, oh, I play ball every day and I eat, chicken breast. Like, yeah, but homie, that Jameson, you know what I'm saying? Like, the cap, the Remy, like, it hits different. So, like, that counts. Okay.
You know a little bit about that, huh, Wise?
Yeah, man. I was telling B before you came on me yesterday, just way too much wine, too much champagne. I was cooked today. I was on my couch, basically bedridden, sleeping, like just knocked the whole day. I was like basically 20 minutes before I got on this call, I recovered. But I knew I had to have a little extra pep for this episode. So, but yeah, last night was tough. Last night was tough. But I'm good. I'm back. But that's why you see me drinking Gatorade right now.
It's all about the bounce back.
Gotta get the electrolytes in there.
Yeah, I gotta bounce back.
So Waz, just so you know, I am a fan of Woke Bros. Like,
thank you.
I'm a big fan of it. So with that said, fuck, marry, kill Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, or AOC.
Wow. Okay. Damn. So off the top, I'm marrying AOC, right? Because our politics are aligned. She's young, vigorous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like, she's got a lot of energy. So she's getting married off the top of the dome, off the top. But Michelle, while she might not be as cute as Kamala, she got that donkey, right? So it's like a trade-off. It's like, do I go for the donk? Or do I go for the cuteness? Now, who do I think gives better oral?
Wow.
I would probably guess Kamala. I would guess Kamala because she probably been with more dudes, no disrespect. And so yeah, I'm marrying AOC. I gotta fuck Kamala because I think she probably the more seasoned, more experience in the bedroom because she's had like 5 husbands and all of that shit already. So she was out here back in the days. And so yeah, I'm gonna fuck Kamala. And sorry, Michelle, we gotta kill you, even though I love that big old booty of yours.
Yo, so I just saw on Twitter that Kamala used to date Montel. Montel Williams, the TV show host, because a lot of people for some reason got him mistaken for Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. But I don't know why that was shocking to me. I don't.
Why is that? Yo, that lady has been out here. She's been hustling for a minute. Like, one thing I will say about her, she hustles. Like, she's about advancing in her life, and she's set out to achieve those goals. And she did it. So good for her. You know what I'm saying? Like my politics don't really align with hers too much, but like I can recognize somebody who hustles, and she hustles.
I love it. Okay. So, and we're getting rid of Michelle out here.
Before we continue, so we talked this over, and we strategically did not put Rihanna in any of your lineups.
I mean, because there's no reason to even have the conversation, because one,
exactly.
One, like, I love tall women. Two, she's Caribbean like I am, right? So like that island vibe spice, that's already vibing with me. And three, like, y'all know Rihanna's a tigress. Y'all know she don't play in the bedroom. She don't play in the bedroom.
So I have one more question. So
yes, sir.
One of them gotta go, Rihanna or Drake.
Oh, wow.
One of them gotta go.
Wow. Man, it's tough. Like, damn. Yeah, Drake is gonna have to go because like, although Drake is probably my favorite artist, like he probably has surpassed Hov for me at this point as far as favorite artist. Yeah, real talk. He's just that. He's just an artist, right? He's just made music. And I got enough other cats whose music that I love that could fill that void. But Rihanna is more than just an artist. Like, she's an icon, right? Like, she means so much to so many people, so many little girls who want to grow up and be as bossed up as she is, and like just as talented and just like unapologetically being herself. Like, because she's so iconic, I gotta keep Rihanna, because she's more than just an artist. She's a symbol at this point.
Yes. She's a status symbol, sex symbol. She's all that.
All of it. And I remember one time I tweeted, I was like, yo, I look up to Rihanna. And people thought I was joking. I'm like, no, I really look up to her, bro. Like the way that she handles her celebrity, like the way she goes about being a celebrity is something I respect. Like, she's just not afraid to be herself in public, right? You see so many people faking the funk, and that shit drives them insane, you know? And Rihanna choosing to be just like authentically true to herself, like that's so admirable in her position.
So when did you like become a part of the Navy?
Oh, I can tell you this is easy. So of course she was Jay-Z's artist, right? Like, so I remember Pon de Replay and Umbrella, and I was like, all right, she a cool little artist, but like I'm like not really stressing it. And then I saw that Rude Boy video. Ooh, Lord have mercy. That's when I was that's when a switch went off in my head. I was like, no. This is the one right here. This is the one. When she was just like, get it up, give me what you got, and all of that. Oh, I was just like, I still get feelings, man, when I see that video. So that video, basically, that threw me in the Rihanna camp. And then she just, she kept elevating herself every single time out. And so, but yeah, Rude Boy was the line of demarcation for me. Definitely.
So when she and Drake were like rumored boo, how did that make you feel?
I remember thinking it made sense for Drake. I remember thinking, so I have this thing, right? Like, and this is male and it's toxic, but like, I always tell niggas it's a bad sign when niggas is too happy in their relationship. Like, you can't be that happy to be with your shorty. Like, I don't know. There's just something that, like, you not. To me, it's a sign of like you're not focused. You're not on your square. You're not on your P's and Q's. Like, Drake was just too fucking happy to be around this chick, and so I was just like, yeah, she got this nigga wound up crazily. So like,
and you want some of that. You want to be wound up and crazy too.
I mean, but like, you can't have your head so far up your shorty's ass. You understand what I'm saying? Like, at a certain point, like, you gotta man up and like, yo, fam, like, I'm in this relationship too. But you could tell that Drake was like, he was obsessed with this shorty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could see that she had this nigga like this. And I remember just thinking like, yeah, that ain't gonna last, man.
But I feel like that's a common thread with Drake, period. Like, as to why he name drops all of his fucking sexual encounters and girlfriends in every single song. Like, he is just happy to be like, near the pussy.
He loves it.
He's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here, guys.
He loves it. He loves it. Like, there was no reason to name drop SZA like that. There was no reason.
None.
Like, and just like, yo, the pain in this man's voice on Jaded is just it's another level. Every time I listen to that song, I'm like, yo, Georgia Smith must have put that fire on this fool, boy.
For real. No, and we spoke about that a few episodes ago. It's just like, what's the point? And how come no like women ever be like, oh yeah, I fuck with him? You don't hear that.
Nobody says that shit.
So what's the problem? What's the key? Is the stroke whack? Like what's good?
I think Drake got hips. That could be
it. What I will say though, like, he's peeled off, like, at this point, he's peeled off a lot of these famous women. Like,
he's peeled off, or did they just drop his ass? Because I don't like him getting credit like that, especially when girls are not going around claiming him. I feel like he shouldn't be able to to wear that. Like, that's like the dude, I don't know, that's like the dude on the team that didn't play but still gets the championship ring. I don't know, or something like that. Like, bro, like, you should not be able to, like, you know, own that as like, I peeled these. Like, nah, take it easy. Like,
yeah, we noticed that Rihanna and Georgia never made songs about him. Well, you know,
never.
No.
but that might mean something. Who knows?
You know what was really weird though is when he jumped on that Lemon remix and was like name dropping like Fenty and like yo, just let it go. Like, she already curved at the VMAs. He tried to, you know, go in for a kiss and she, you know, gave him a little curve and dabbed on him and all that.
That was cold. That was cold-blooded. But yeah, that's, you know, that's natural. Everybody has their one, you know what I'm saying, that definitely drives them crazier than others. But it seems like Drake has like 20 of those.
He's the one that like drives you crazy, where you be like, okay, let me just stop. I wonder how many times he's gotten ghosted.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We're gonna leave your boy Drake alone. I'm sorry.
Hey man, listen, no. And this is the thing though, like, because he puts all his business on the streets, like, this is what you open yourself up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you do put all your shit out there. So, like, to me, like, the reason why he does that is to get people talking, like, 100%. So I'm not mad at it at all, man. That's part of the content rollout. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, I forget, man. I remember he had Bernice in fucking Australia. I was just like, yo, this guy is such a trick artist, bro.
There has to be another name for his level of trickery. Like he's like up in the up on the signs with like David Blaine and all them, like the illusionists and like all the musicians and shit. Like, his trickery is just on a whole nother level.
He retired. Sure. He was at Malaya's retirement jersey. Like, when they retired her number, he showed up to that.
And that was due to him. Like, he just had, you know what? He handing out scholarships. He's Sally Mae.
You know what? Meek, if Drake slid in your DMs, how would you act?
What's up, boo? Hey. Or you know what? Better yet, I might ignore his ass because that might drive him even more crazy. So like you know, leave him on red. A real thing. Yeah, like leave him on red. You know, a couple of times, and then I know I made it when I make it on a song. Like, you know you did something once you make it on a song. So
yeah, that's, you know, the whole kissing and telling thing. I just don't get it. I understand like why women would do it, but a lot of guys will pillow talk and just spill all their shit. Just like that song in particular with Drake and 21 Savage. Like, he's in the song, he's saying that he's saying this to another woman that he's about to like smash. Like, what? How?
But wait, but why is it more understandable when women do it than when guys do it?
It's a double standard. But that's the thing. I want to teach the guys in my life, like, just act like you've been somewhere before. Like, Have some
I'm so
cool
like
about
when
it.
I learned from a young age that you don't really want anybody knowing what you're doing because dudes is nasty. Dudes will throw salt and hate on you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, like it's the opposite for me. Like people are actually like, "Yo, you touch such and such," and I'll be like, "Nah, I don't even know it like that." Like I'll just straight up just lie about ever cutting the chick because you just rather people don't know what you're doing, man. Like it's just better that way.
And I feel like a lot of guys miss out on like being able to be with dope chicks because they are known to run their mouth.
Right.
Talk
And
too damn much.
and not even just talking, like a lot of dudes don't know how to keep it cool. Like, you might give him some little sympathy pussy, like, all right, nigga, I'll let you have the pussy real quick. But then the next time you see him, he's like on you, and it's like, yo, fam, like I let you slice, but chill. Like, like cool.
Wise. Sympathy pussy. Yes, men. Sympathy pussy is a thing, bro.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a thing. It's a big thing. And to be honest, a lot of these are like a lot of women between the ages of, it all depends on when you lose your virginity. But I'm going to just say like early 20s to like maybe 25, 26 is handing out sympathy pussy. Like, because they haven't really like gotten to explore themselves enough to like know themselves. It's not until you reach 25, 26 to where a woman starts having sex for her. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's like common. So until then, like, yes, it's a lot of fucking sympathy pussy being handed out. Like,
and you know what happens is like, well, he does text me every day. He did buy a couple of lobsters. Like, I could get a nigga the pussy real quick. Like,
right.
Like, damn, I got it saved in my phone as free food. I guess I could.
Shit. For some, it might just be, well, shit, the nigga's here. Fuck. Like, it's either him or my vibrator. Like, might as well put him to use. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen so many people fumble the bag that way. Just don't know how to act. Like they like you said, act like you've been there. Like, cause to me, and again, and this is more toxicity for the listeners, but like I've always noticed that many times, like women will fuck with you more the more you kind of curve them. You know what I'm saying? Like the more that you kind of act like, yeah, I mean, I liked cutting you, but I don't really need the cut. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, hold on. Let's clarify this. I need you to have a life. So it's not a thing of like curving. Men who just make themselves too available, what that says to me is you got way too much time on your hands.
Right.
So I need you to have a life. Like, I need you to be busy to where it's like, maybe I don't hear from you in 2 days, but it's because you working on your business, getting shit started, making some money, blah, 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 blah. But if I'm over here receiving phone calls every hour on the hour, yeah, I'm not fucking with you.
You're doing too much. And matter of fact, like, and I'll tell dudes this, like, yo, if a shorty hits you on Sunday, like, yo, let's hang out on Tuesday. I don't care if you got shit to do Tuesday. Be like, nah, I think Thursday would work better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, like,
yo, that's game.
Like, straight up and down, like, you gotta act like, you gotta, because, and it's a delicate balance.
But it's vice versa, though. It's vice versa, because as women, with women, it's the same thing. If you always able to jump and stop your world when that man call, like, yeah, to me, the level of respect is gonna go down. Like,
100%.
How I view it.
100%. And it's a delicate balance, right? Like, you don't want to, like, get the woman to think that you're completely disinterested, but you also don't want her to think that you really thirsty either. Like, you gotta play that in between game where it's like, yo, bitch, I don't really need to hang out with you. Like, if I hang out with you, it's cool, but like, like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to say that. You want to express that without actually saying it. You know what I'm saying? I always feel like that works.
At the same time, she's like, okay, well, he's busy. She's gonna scroll through that phone and be like, well, let me hit this next nigga. And then Thursday come around, she busy.
Facts. And that's a risk that you take when you playing the game. But to me, I always tell people like it's okay to miss out on a couple of things, because if you do get somebody and it's in a good context, that's better anyway, right? Exactly. Like, even if you miss out on stuff, like, as long as it's, on your terms. You rather have it on your terms rather than, I got these 3 chicks, but I'm jumping through 3 different hoops to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather have the one chick on my terms. Like, that's always better to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush type shit. You know what I'm saying?
This is so good to hear. This is so good to hear from a man's perspective because, I mean, as, 3 women who host this show, we get a lot of DMs or whatever, and it's just, the thirst is just ridiculous. And it's just like,
wait, but I will say to some of the listeners out there, some of y'all are real clever on like how y'all, like some of them got it. Like I'll give it to y'all. Some of them got it. Like some, because it's like, just like Waz said, it is a fine balance where it's like you don't want to make yourself seem thirsty, but you do have to be able to showcase your interest. But also you have to, like, some, like, I get some in the DM that listens to the show. Meek, I missed it at work, but I'm catching up, blah, 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 blah. But then, like, they ask me on my opinion with certain things, but I can tell that there's another interest in there, but it's just, to me, it's not thirsty, it's not all the way thirsty. So bravo to those fellas out there that understand.
Here's the crazy thing, like, with y'all, because here's the thing. Not only are you guys attractive, you guys are obviously very comfortable in your sexuality and your sexual lives. Like, y'all not afraid to be sexual in public, right? Like, yes, I'm a woman. I'm sexual. Yeah. So what?
And I get horny, bitch.
Like, yeah. 100%. But like, some people are just so stupid. Like, they don't understand that you can be sexual, you can be motherly, nurturing, you can be intellectual, you can be all of that stuff at one time. So a lot of times niggas just get so caught up in the, damn, she bad. Did you see Bethany in that latex joint? No. all the intellectual shit go out the way. They like, did you see that dominatrix shit she had on, boy? And they go crazy.
Yeah.
Because I have people ask me like, yo, I think Meek, she's so dope. How can I get her attention? First of all, asking me ain't gonna get it. I'm not gonna be like, you know what? Let me send her your profile and she'll DM. No, like, this is not like this is not Tinder. This is not a dating podcast. Like, this is not what we're here for. But I always, like, when people do, because this honestly happens a lot. People are like, yo, Meek is so dope. Elizabeth's so dope. And I'm like, well, do you listen to the show? Like, do you listen to who they are as women? Like, or are you just like focused on the thirst traps on, on Instagram? So what is it? But here's the thing.
I'm glad you hit on something that I think is important, that I always found to be a good way to sort of not even break the ice, but differentiate yourself from others, right? Like, if somebody's into you, they should be listening to this show and they should be finding some quirk that's unique to you and DMing you about it. Not some, the weather type shit. Like, some shit that's unique to the person, right? Like, I noticed you such and such and such and such and such. And then you go crazy after that. You don't just jump in and be like, yo, you're so bad, you're so hot, let me buy you dinner. Like,
and to add to what you're saying, Was, like, I like it when a man challenge me, like, like, and it's not like, but because I like,
niggas is taking notes right now. Go ahead.
As B and Elizabeth like to say, like, I like to debate, but I feel like through debate I learn so much more. So if I make my stance and then you're like, well, I see what you mean there, but this is what I see, I'm like, dang, I didn't think about, it's kind of like playing chess, so it's like, don't just slide in my DM. Like, if you completely agree, that's cool. But just like your teachers back when you was in school, like, I need compare and contrast, honey. Like, I need to understand why you agree with me. Like, don't just try. If I'm into politics, I like to read. I like Coltrane. Don't try to be so surface with it. Like, I'm gonna need you to go a bit deeper, for sure. So,
yeah. But yeah, I was saying earlier, Meek and I, we both have boys, and they're both 6 years old. And I think Eli as well has been asking about
honey,
the birds and the bees. So Prince in particular, I have a photo of myself. Like I took some maternity photos when I was pregnant with him, and I have it by my bed. And he always asks, like, about what's going on. Like he understands that he was in my belly in here in that particular photo, but he wants to know, like, okay, how does this happen? But also when just raising him in general, when it comes to his anatomy, I tell him what his body parts are by the correct name. I don't make up little nicknames like a little PP or what. No, this is your penis. You know what I mean? We're not doing that. So this is, I feel like it's important to be clear with children because children are smarter than we give them credit for. So I teach him, about boundaries, about, a woman's body, because of course he's watching. He's like, okay, what's this? What's that? How come I don't have this? How come you don't have that? So I want to know, because I like to have this conversation with guys. What was sex education for you?
So, okay. So first thing I will say, like, from the time that I can remember, I was a horn dog, right? Like, I'm talking about 5. How young? From kindergarten. Mm-hmm. From the time that I can remember.
You say horn dog, like physically, or like you just like the way
I wanted to be near girls. I wanted to be near women.
Yeah.
Period. From the time that I can remember. And that's just how it was. Like I was that kid. Trying to get girls to kiss me. And another thing, like my siblings are 13 and 11 years older than me, right? So I was watching 90210 with them. I was watching Melrose Place with them. I loved when we were watching a movie and a sex scene would happen. Like I love, like when my brother was watching Skinamax. Like I was that kid that was like from the very start. I was like, this is what I want to watch. This is great. And that's just how it went my whole life. Like my mom and my dad separated when I was like 8 years old, and I lived with my mom. And me and my mom never talked about sex. I'm gonna tell you the first time we talked about sex. I was a junior in high school.
Jesus Christ.
And I had a girlfriend, and she was coming over regularly. And my mom basically sort of got the idea that like I was having sex, and she said to me, "You don't want to get that girl pregnant." That's it. That's all. That was the sex convo.
Wow.
Don't get her pregnant. That's it. That was my sex education. Now, in 8th grade, I went to a Catholic school, and they actually did sex education with us. Taught us about the dick and the pussy and the this and the that and all of that. And then in high school, I took an actual like health sex ed class where they tell you like, this is how you get chlamydia, this is how you get herpes, this is how you do this is how you do that, this is why you need a condom, this, that, and the third. And so that I definitely got formal sexual education in high school, like where they show you, the dick with the sores on it and all of that type of shit. Wow.
So did your siblings ever, like, because they were a little bit older than you were, did you ever see anything that
I never seen my brother like actually have sex, but my brother always had chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like he always had girls around, and I looked up to my brother, and like to me, like you should always want to be around women. That was just how I was raised. And my brother, like, he always had game, he always had all of that shit. So my brother was definitely putting me on the game, like. Yeah, he was definitely putting me on, like, yo, this is what you need to do, this is blah, 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 blah. But a lot of it was just observance. Like, I see how my brother is with women. I see how my brother, like, what he's doing. Like, I could just learn it from just observing him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even need to ask many questions.
When did you get your first girl? When was your first girlfriend? How old were you?
My first girlfriend was probably 4th or 5th grade. 4th and 5th
So what'd you
grade.
do? Like write her a letter? Like how did that even like, how did that come about?
So she was new to the school, right?
And you was like,
and yeah, she was nice. And like, and again, like I was never that kid that was making fun of girls or like beefing with girls. I was always friends with girls, right? Like friendly, not if we weren't friends, but I was always friendly. I was always nice to girls. So the people, like one of the girls that she was close with, I believe, was just like, yo, listen, this girl, she thinks you're whatever. And I was like, word? So I feel the same way. And then boom, schoolyard type shit. And it was, it was silly. It was 5th grade. It was basically just kissing or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, 5th grade was my first joint.
See, I think about my younger brother. He's 6 years younger than I am. And when I was an adult, when I was living in Minneapolis, he was also living there too. And whenever I would go, like, have a doctor's appointment, whatever, they would give me like a bag of condoms. I give them directly to him. But I knew that my dad had already had this talk with him. And he's like 14, 15. But I always knew, like, okay, I know he's out here doing this thing. All he talks about is girls. He's just girl crazy. So I would just literally give him a bag of condoms and be like, look, please just protect yourself, be safe. But whenever he would talk about women, if he was ever disrespectful with it, I would always check him. And I feel like sometimes men don't really check other guys when they talk reckless about women.
So the problem is a lot of the conversations that are happening between men is cap. Like, dudes.
I'm glad you said that. Thank you.
Dudes just be lying. So it's like, yes. What are you really checking somebody for who's already lying to you? You understand what I'm saying? It's like I can't even do a serious
bro. You won't be like, bro, you lying. Like, stop lying.
Nah, I'm just like, all right, you one of those. You're just gonna lie.
Right.
So I'm gonna give you a perfect example. This is a classic lie that dudes telling, and any dude that's listening is gonna understand. Like, a dude will have had prior relations with a chick, right? And you like, yo, what's up with such and such? Oh, nah, I just sliced or whatever. It was nothing, whatever. Then when somebody else slices, like one of his homies or whoever sliced, heartbroken, can't eat for weeks. It's like, yo, why were you lying then? Why did you just
had this conversation before?
We definitely had this conversation, but I think it's also a mix of like being territorial and also like the emotions. Because that's what I was about to say when you were talking about how we talking about pillow talk. What is this whole thing of like men? It's nothing wrong with having a partner that you like, talk to and like you need advice from. But like the whole pack though, especially when majority of the motherfuckers are not capable of managing their own emotional baggage, So it's like, what is that? So like when men are like, well, yeah, like if I hit that, like, you can't hit that, bruh. I had this debate with the dude. I'm like, bruh, the way me and my girls are set up, if the dude didn't mean nothing to me, if it was like how you would say wants a slice, bruh, like, homie, bro, you can go and I can tell you what he good at, so you don't waste your motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have that, Like we're not attached like that, but the guys that we do have feelings for, my girl already know off jump, like she wouldn't even think about it. It doesn't even have to be a conversation. But I just don't understand why with guys with all of their joints, it's like like the fuck, like that just doesn't make sense.
It's just interesting because I think the problem is a lot of dudes derive their self-worth from the type of women that they can get, right? And so there's a lot of ego and sort of self-esteem tied into, I got that, I possess that. And if somebody else possesses that too, then they could be equal to or better than me, right? I think that's a lot of the stuff that's happening. Whereas for me, like, and I don't know, I was just lucky enough to have this. Maybe it's my upbringing. Like, maybe it's just my parents telling me that I was special or whatever. But, like, I've never fucking cared. Like my whole thing was always like, look, a chick should want to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she don't fuck with me, that's on her. But it's a good idea for a chick to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she don't, then she don't, and whatever. She made a mistake, but like that's always been my whole idea. So that's why it's like I've never been the homie to be like, man, I don't give a fuck about that shorty. I don't tell niggas, I'm like, nah, I love that shorty, son. Nah, son, shorty was she's the greatest. I'm the opposite. I always tell the truth if I'm feeling a chick, like no matter what.
I love that because I go ahead, Meek.
I was gonna say I always question if men ever romanticize about their virginity, like how they lose their virginity. Like, you know, when girls, you know, we think about it like you think like, oh, you know, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be passionate. Da, 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 da. It's like, what do men or young boys like? How do y'all, when you think of your first time, what was your thoughts of how you was gonna lose your virginity?
I never put any thought to it. The only thought that I had was that I knew I needed to make it happen. That's it. That was it. Like, because again, my brother is 11 years older than me, and whatever. This is crazy, sexy, cool. We could be honest here. I lost my virginity in 7th grade. I was 13 years old. Okay, so my brother was 24 at the time, so he had been doing it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and my older cousins, my brothers, all of them, they're always talking about, yeah, you know, I was hooking up with that girl, blah, 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 blah. So I always had it in my mind, like, I need to do this. I need to make this happen. And the crazy thing, like, people always be like, yo, that's crazy that you would lose your virginity so young. And the craziest thing about it is that you could easily talk a 13-year-old girl into having sex with you. That's the crazy thing. Like, when you're that young, people are that impressionable. Like, it's not like it wasn't like it didn't take a crazy amount of convincing. Whereas, like, when I'm 25 and I meet a girl who's 25, it's like, nah, you're gonna have to convince me to do this, fam. You understand what I'm saying? So that's basically I had this mentality that this was something that I needed to be doing.
So you were kind of like racing. You had a clock. Like a clock.
I don't want to say it was a clock. It's not like I put pressure on myself or anything. It was just like, look.
It was like, it's just a must.
It's something that I should be trying to do. Like, so if I have a girlfriend, I should be telling her, like, yo, why don't we try to have sex with each other? Period.
So,
that was my attitude.
Is there a possibility that 13-year-old girl wanted to have sex just as much as you did?
I think so.
Well, no, I will. Let me change that. That's definitely probably what was the case.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure she was my first. I'm pretty sure I was not hers.
Wow.
You understand?
And there it is.
Yeah. I'm almost positive I was not hers. You know, so like it was never something where I was like, I was taking this from the shorty. It was just like I said, like it's like, yo, this is something we should try to do.
So, because I have some friends that like laughed at me when I said that I didn't like have music playing. Like I didn't like have a whole mood set. Because I have a friend who said he lost his virginity to Butter Love by Next. Another friend who lost hers, she said she was listening to John B. And I was like,
oh my God.
But the guy, he was the one who had Butter Love playing. Like he set the mood. So that was a good question, Meek, because I always wonder, like, do guys really like big themselves up? Because I even said this another time that the only example that we have in like mainstream media when it comes to men and losing their virginity really is like The Wood.
Right.
Yeah.
And how they had the whole pussy jar or whatever. And every time they went without, you know, hooking up or whatever, they had to put some money in there. I guess what was the whole like plot is whoever has sex first gets the money.
Right. So for us, I mean, I can only speak on my group of friends. It's not like, I don't want to say you were ashamed to be a virgin, but it's not something you were proud of. So it's not something you would constantly be talking about. That you weren't having any sex. Like you wouldn't be talking about that with your friends. What you would be talking about was, man, I really like that girl. Man, I'm gonna try to get her to hook up with me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was never like I never talked to my homies about my virginity or when I was gonna lose it. It was just a mutual understanding that we all had that we wanted to get with girls.
When you lost it, did you report back?
No, I didn't.
Like,
and the crazy,
Was, who did you tell? Once you sliced.
Oh no! I told I told my homies, of course, the same day. I called my homies and told them, 100%. But what I'm saying is like, the thing about that moment is that so many things in my life was leading up to it, right? Like, First time I kissed a girl. First time I tongue kissed a girl. First time I dry humped a girl. First time I sucked a titty or touched the titty or whatever. It was all
like
leading up. Yeah. And it just felt like the natural sort of progression. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't feel like some huge climax. It felt like the natural progression of what was happening, you know, in my life. You know what I'm saying?
But you made that phone call like, nigga.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nah. The loss of me losing my virginity was so anticlimactic. Like I was just like, it was bad.
I don't think I've ever met a woman. No, I know one person in my past has told me like, yeah, she just basically hit the ground running. But like every time I've talked to a woman about the first time they did it, just like shit was trash. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was trash. No, well, so like the way I was talking to this dude, and we were like, you know, talking and fooling around for some time, and like dude like went down on me and everything, like was giving me head and all that type of shit, and like. But he wouldn't take my fucking virginity. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why the hell does he not want to take my virginity, right? So, like, I start fucking with him. Now I'm hot and I'm fucking bothered. Like I said before, it's like, you know, when someone's at the slot machines and they constantly put in coins, they walk away and then the next motherfucker come and hit the jack. That was basically what happened. So the next dude I like end up talking to, I kid you not, the first day night we were supposed to go out, we never left the house. We ended up having sex. First off, motherfucker was not circumcised, so like that's like a whole nother like
tough. That's tough.
That's a whole nother like
it's
deal.
Tough for your first time to be that. Woo.
It was just not cool, but. Yeah, I think I stayed away from dick for a cool minute after that. I was like, yeah, this is not it. This can't be it. Like head, I was all for like the dude giving me head. Like I hadn't sucked dick yet, so I didn't.
How old were you, Meek? How old were you?
When I lost my virginity, I was 19, about to be 20.
Wow. You know what's so crazy? And y'all gonna laugh at this. So. Earlier in 7th grade, I had a girlfriend who was in 6th grade, but I'm pretty sure she had gotten left back, or she was like an immigrant to the country or whatever. So she was the same year born as me, but she was in a grade below. Right. And I remember me and my homie I was fucking with her and he was fucking with her cousin. So we would always be hanging out with them. And one day I had the free crib and we tried to have sex, right? And it didn't. It didn't work. I couldn't do it. In retrospect. What do you mean? In retrospect, I just couldn't. I think in retrospect, I didn't lube it up. I didn't do the right thing. I tried to just make it happen.
Oh, she wasn't wet.
She wasn't wet.
Okay, I thought
she wasn't aroused.
Okay.
Right, and so I couldn't. I couldn't insert the thing, and I was just like, "Yo, this virgin shit is crazy." Meanwhile, like. When I look back at it, it's just like, it's not that she was a virgin, it's that I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. You understand what I'm saying? But I put it in my head. I was like, yo, I don't think I could fuck with a virgin.
Yo, no, there's a lot of guys.
Years old, I put that in my head.
There's a lot of guys that feel that way. Like, so that was like my thing in high school. Like, I remember my virginity being a big thing, like my junior year in high school. And it wasn't because I was making a big thing. It was just like, okay, so like I'm a dancer. I've always been a dancer and I've always danced a particular way. And what I mean by that, I mean like sexual. So even when I was a virgin, I danced like that. And people used to have this, you know, misconception that like, oh, like you've been fucking, like, you know, like, cause how you've been dancing, cool, whatever. So like they will ask me like, Meek, like you getting down? I'm like, nah, you know. So I used to hang out with the boys, and so my fellas used to be like, if a dude tried me, they'd be like, yeah, you can try every other female up in here, but don't touch this one. So like my virginity was like this sacred thing, like, which was like crazy. As to why when old dude was fucking with me, I was just like, okay, look, I'm over this shit. Like somebody come
so crazy. My whole entire, I've still never in my life had sex with a virgin. Never. High school, never. College, like whenever I would hear a chick was a virgin, I'll lose interest automatically. I was like, yo, I don't want to be the person that does this for you. Like, I don't want the responsibility of all the shit that comes with that. I don't want to be that person.
At least you understand that there is some weight that comes with that whole moment.
Yeah. Too much weight. I was like, nah,
yeah,
son,
it's a lot.
I'm out here just trying to have some fun with it. Like, you doing your whole purity and chastity and all that shit. You gotta go somewhere else with all of that.
No, but the first dude ended up saying that. Like, I ended up talking to him and telling him and talking to him about it. He was like, yeah, he's like, I did not want to be that guy. Like, so he said the exact same thing.
See, my first time was trash. I was in a relationship. I was 16, about to turn 17. And this kind of circles back to sex education. So we had sex. It was over like that. And he was upset with me because he thought I was lying about being a virgin because I didn't bleed. So there's this whole like popping the cherry thing that people believe, like, when you lose your virginity, that there's supposed to be some sort of blood. And he was like, "Oh, you lying."
His dick was small.
Son, this is another thing this is another thing that kills me with niggas. It's like, yo, every nigga really think he's like Conan the Barbarian, like that he really like he's fucking it up. It's like, yo, my nigga, like, relax. like just be happy that like every dude, a lot of times dudes just want to feel like they've like conquered your genitals. And it's like, bruh.
That's exactly
like, bruh, you just renting this thing, brother. You don't own that.
Okay. And it was just the wildest. It was the wildest thing. So every time I think about my virginity, I just think about how stupid this dude is. Like, that he really believed this like crazy ass myth that I was supposed to just. Like, what is that?
That is crazy. No, but it is. I think little boys should be educated not only on their own, anatomy, but also the women's anatomy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably gonna be that weird ass mom that like let my son know, like, look, babe, before I already know you about to get active. This how you protect yourself, all that, blah blah blah. But also, you need to engage with your partner. Like, if you think that she about to just lay down and you just take your fucking dick and just slam it into her, like, it doesn't go down that way. Like, and having those type of, I already have those conversations, of course, age appropriate with my son. Like, my son, like, I feel like my son is similar to you, Was, where like he knows he loves women. Like, he looks at my boobs and his eyes are like,
and over all my son does, he loves smacking my ass. And so, and Meek knows this, Elizabeth knows this. When they come over to my house, I have to tell them.
Her son did it.
Like, I have to teach him about boundaries and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Like, we have to have these conversations early about.
Yes.
I know when I have kids, I'm not gonna do the same approach as my parents. I'm definitely gonna be more upfront. And I know a lot of dudes like be scared of when they have a daughter, like, oh, somebody's gonna fuck my daughter, like,
you're damn right,
shit
and
like
they
that.
Gonna fuck her real good, and make sure she knows. And make sure she knows that her first time is gonna be whack. Watch, if you have a daughter, you let her know that her first time. Like, look, babe. First time you have sex, it probably won't think it's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be.
Of course. Like, and I'm gonna tell my daughter to give my daughter the game. Like, yo, these niggas don't give a fuck about you. Like, a nigga's gonna beat and keep it pushing. Like,
my dad, I have godfathers, and whenever me and my dad would, hang out with them, they never filtered their conversation. They wanted me to hear how men really talk when women 100%. Are not there. So he was 100%. Like, look, this is how we really speak about women when they're 100%. Not around. So when a woman joins the table or whatever, everybody's demeanor changes. And I'm just like, okay. But I'm talking about, like, I was like 8, 9, 10, hearing these stories and hearing them talk about women as if like they were toys, trophies, whatever you want to call it. And it just really opened my eyes, which I feel like my dad also gave me the sex talk when I was 7. He brought over a condom and a banana and showed me about how to protect yourself. Because my dad, I think he understood that my daughter is going to have sex. It's not wait till you're married, which I think is the worst sex education.
Terrible advice. Because nobody's going to follow that. Nobody's going to actually do that.
But also it's toxic because at an early age, you're teaching young girls to connect their sexuality to their emotions. Even though I do believe that like emotional ties are created through sexual experience, you can actually partake in sexual encounters and not develop or tie your emotions to it.
And it also makes it seem like sex is a bad thing.
Right.
It's not a bad thing. It is a natural thing that will happen because your hormones are like raging and you don't know what to do with yourself. And a lot of people are repressed and driving themselves nuts.
Exactly. The repression. I like, to me, you know, I would tell my kid, man or woman, like, yo, you need to just have an understanding about your own body. You know what I'm saying? Like, be present in your body, your sexual organs or whatever your genitals or whatever. Be present. Have a relationship with your body. And then once you have that, you can go out and do what you need to do because you can communicate things to people because you're so in tune with yourself, right? Yeah. Like, I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of times, too, I be telling people, like, yo, if you don't know how to get yourself off, I'm supposed to just guess?
So wait, time out. Was, you have a daughter and her hormones are raging. If she came to you, I don't know if a daughter, you know, if y'all have this kind of relationship, if she came to you and asked you to buy her a vibrator, would you buy your daughter a vibrator?
I would. I know people think
it would be healthy.
That's crazy.
I think it would be. I honestly think it would be healthy. Like,
listen, it can't be a bad thing for people to be in tune with themselves, bro. Like, so you know how many people like are just scared of their own genitals? Like, just the thought terrifies them. Like, that's not healthy, right? So, like, if your kid is at home doing what they need to do in the privacy of their room, like, how can that be a bad thing? Again, they're learning things about themselves, right?
They're safe.
They're safe. Rather than what? You get your first boyfriend who's learning how to fuck off of porn, and just be what's guiding things.
But not even just boys. Girls do too. Well, that's the reason why you have that obnoxious ass, you know, moan and I like that shit and the bouncing. I call it the Olympic sex. Like, they be acting like they dismounting off the horse and shit. Yeah. Like, you just ain't got time for all that.
A lot of times when that's happened to me in the past, I'm like, yeah, this is cap. I know I'm not killing it like this. Come on. Stop.
Yeah. So I have a friend who was telling me about one of her close friends. She has like a 14, 15-year-old daughter. And so she walked in on her daughter masturbating. And her daughter immediately, of course, was just like mortified. But she was like, you know what? She spoke to her about how this could be a great stress relief for her, because she was like, Mom, when I'm stressed, this is just what I like to do. But she was like, you don't have to explain that to me. She was like, I'm happy that you're in tune with yourself, that you are releasing your stress this way instead of any other dangerous way, because she's 14, 15 and getting to know her body. And she recognizes off top that she's stressed and she has to do something about it. Look, I thought that was so dope, but my homegirl was like, you don't think that's too much to have a conversation? No. I would be like, oh God, girl.
Stop shielding people from real life. This is real life we're talking about. Like, eventually this person has to leave the nest and is going to be out there on her own. Like, you want this person to be equipped to feel empowered in her own body, fam. What I would say though is, like, can you please lock your door? Thank you.
So that was another part of the conversation. Like, hey, when you're doing this, just, you know, lock up. But I think what it was is that she didn't have a lock on her door. So, but you know, black mamas just will bust up.
Yeah. There's no knocking. Yeah. I'm not knocking on the door in my own house.
But that was a good moment of communication. Like, you know what?
I think it's so healthy, because I remember when I was doing that type of stuff, like, it was so much shame, like, connected to it. Like, I would do it, but when I tell you, I would feel like I just fucking, you know, like just brought shame to my family in some kind of way. I don't know. Like, and it really did weigh on me because I'm like, oh my God, like, why am I doing this? Like, I think I need to go see a counselor. Like I need to go talk to somebody. Was I touched? Like,
it's so funny you would say that, right? It's so funny because I remember the first time that I masturbated. I was probably like 12, so it was probably like 6th grade. And I remember just thinking it was great. I was like, wow, this is fucking amazing. And I swear I did it like every single day for probably like 2 months straight after the first time, right? It was just like, it was like a revelation, right? But I remember the talk, like with people that I was around, there was a sort of like a shame. It was like taboo to be jerking off because it meant you didn't get pussy, right? And that was like the chatter, right? Then fast forward a couple years, I get to high school, and I went to a high school at a predominantly white high school, and I'm making white friends or whatever. And white boys were just the opposite. They're like, of course I jerk off. Are you fucking kidding me? Like that's without a question, of course. It was
right.
Like, it was so ill, like that turnaround, that realization, like you don't have to feel that way about it, right? Like it's just so funny, like listening to white dudes talk about it. It was just like, nah, like, bro, I'm jerking off when I go home from school today. Like, it's happening. It's going down.
Right. Yeah. I think that the same thing happened like in my early 20s, like when I first started to explore my sexuality. Like it was because of my intermix of friends. Like my predominantly Black group of friends would be like, girl, well, you know Meek is out there, she crazy, she did it, but like but my other friends would be like, oh my God, you tried that too, man, when I did that, I'm like, it's like that type of conversation. So I do think it's like something within our community as well. So, where
there's definitely a conservatism around sex for sure. In a lot of our culture, which, a lot of that stuff is the church stuff, and a lot of it is whatever, but it's just like, it's something that I just reject out here. And like, I'm not going to act like it's a big deal to talk about a vagina or a penis. Like, bruh, it's our body parts, is what we do. Like, I'm never going to act like, oh my God, I saw a nipple. It's like,
yes. And also, I really love the fact that my parents, because I breastfed my son for 3 years, and I breastfeed him anywhere. We go out to dinner, cool. He's hungry, right here. And no one ever was like, oh, you need to cover up, you need to do it. Everyone was kind of like, I wish somebody would say something, because I feel like, the woman's body is just over-sexualized, period. Yeah. But here I am, like, breastfeeding my child. Would you rather him cry and then I'd like put him under a hot ass blanket or whatever? But I just feel like it's just a lack of sexual education, just over sexualizing everything because of porn and because of whatever you see in movies.
Religion.
What you call it? Yeah. You call it a Skinamax.
Skinamax.
Once 11:30 hit, man, Cinemax turned into a whole other ball.
A whole nother beast.
I didn't have Cinemax back in the day, but I did try to peek between the lines because no one ever talked about sex. So whatever I could see, like how you said you were like a horn dog when you were coming up, I'm just like, I was the same way, but I just didn't really express it. But because my mom, she didn't give me the sex talk. She was like, she's like, I had my son at 15, so I thought that would just scare you off from having sex because you might get pregnant or whatever. So, and she also said I was a tomboy, so she was like, I didn't even think you were.
Oh, like, you weren't even.
You didn't give a damn. But I'm like super curious. I used to watch Sex in the City, whatever, when, I guess they came out.
Real Sex. I remember Real Sex. I used to love watching Real Sex.
Dr. Ruth, whatever I could get my
anything.
hands on.
Facts. Yeah, and back then, it wasn't like now where like porn is just at your fingertips at all times. Like you had to actually like go out of your way to get your hands on some fucking
on a VHS tape. I remember those. I remember like coming up with like, finding my uncle's stash and shit, and like, like
I found a stash of books, magazines. It wasn't Playboy, it was like a black, I'm not sure what the name of this magazine was, but I just remember like flipping through and seeing women and their natural bodies. I remember like, oh, she has like hair here, because at the time I'm like 9, I have no body hair, but I'm like looking like, oh shit, like this is fascinating. It was the most fascinating thing I had ever seen. And I don't want my son to like see a naked body and just be like, I have to have that. I want him to be able to be like, okay, that's a woman's body and appreciate it and not just be a horn dog because no one has ever talked about
showed
sex
him titties before.
Right.
Yeah, I think you guys as children are very well positioned because their moms are sexually liberated and aren't going to treat this shit like it's fucking, you know, like it's some fucking secret hush hush thing. It's like you can have real conversations, communicate clearly. Like, because a lot of times the conversations be so stunted because people are like afraid to talk about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like having somebody around you that can speak clearly and factually about shit, it's like it means everything.
Yes, it does.
Wait, so B, I have a question. So like I believe I started to develop when I was 13 years old.
What do we mean by develop? Like your
I'm talking about like getting titties. Like yeah. And I remember thinking something was fucking wrong with me. The way them things grew in, I was like I'm like, bro, this cannot be right. Like something ain't right about this shit. Like because I thought about that when you said you looked at the magazine and you saw it. Because I feel like the porn back then was way more close to like reality, like where you got different body shapes and different types of areolas and so on. And so like but then you do have like the plastic porn too. So it's like, bro, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't look like this does not look like what I'm like used to. And I thought something was wrong with me, bro. Like I had like 2 ant hills, and I'm like, bro, like did something bite me?
Look, I'm still waiting on some titties to come in. I had boobs for 2 years while I breastfed, and I didn't get a chance to enjoy the boobs that I always like. I had my dream titties, and they went back down. So no, I was just always enamored with the female body, just like the different shapes and sizes, and it's just weird now because kids coming up these days, you know, they're on social media and they see a lot of women with
Kylie Kardashian. I think to me that's toxic. It's very toxic because it's very like
it's unattainable.
Yeah, like, it's like a factory, like, you know, like, and it's not even like natural. So like even when we look at it, even if you find yourself attracted to it from some kind of way, it's not even a natural attraction. Like it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. All right, so we're going to move on, guys, to the Red Light Special. If you guys have a question for the ladies of the Crazy Sexy Cool podcast, shoot us a DM at CrazySexyCoolPod on Twitter and Instagram, or send us an email at CrazySexyCoolPod@gmail.com, and we just may answer your question on the show. I know we talked about verses with T.I. and Jeezy a couple weeks ago when it was announced, but some people have some questions because I think I was really turned because I was really excited for Jeezy and T.I. to go head to head because I feel like they're the kings of like trap music.
Right.
But they want to know, what do we think will come about this new versus with Jeezy versus Gucci Mane?
Well, okay, so I know Meek said she doesn't really care about Gucci or Jeezy, and I don't think you need to care about them individually as artists to be interested in this because these two dudes.
I know that they beef. I know they had like a real beef. I remember
they had, but the details are so incredible. It's like a movie. Like they had a song together. It's a big hit in Atlanta and even does things nationally. And then they have a falling out basically over the song.
Right.
And then they end up having like a real full-blown beef to the point where Jeezy sets Gucci up like with some strippers. They set him up. Gucci goes to the stripper's house and is like about to cut, and some dudes come to try to kill him. Only Gucci had his gun on him and killed the dude. He killed the guy and like was exonerated. Like it was self-defense. So he fucking killed Jeezy's mans.
Like, for those that are watching on YouTube, Meek's face right now, she is just baffled. So you knew none of this.
I knew about the beef. I didn't know about the setup part.
Bruh.
So now my question is, how do you?
Exactly.
Now my question is like when they in the studio, like
exactly.
Okay, because this has been an ongoing thing, right? So like a lot, like, you know, unfortunately we've lost a lot of rappers this past week, in this past 2 weeks, rappers of the younger generation. And I always say, like, bruh, if someone didn't kill your mama or whatever, like, why are y'all fucking beefing like that? But that though, right there, like, you set me up to end my life. Like, right. I don't think I would ever be able to sit back in a room with you,
bro. And Gucci has rapped about it in songs like, yo, your man not coming back, blah 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 blah. Like, yo, this is not
this nigga.
This is not like your typical little Drake and Meek Mill type of situation where they talk about each other's ex shorties or whatever. Like, this dude killed his mans, okay? And now they're gonna do a versus. That's where I'm just like, this is the craziest. And I really hope they're doing it remotely, because I was talking to my cousin about it. I was like, look, I personally don't want to see some reconciliation, yo, we piecing it out type shit. No, I want to see ratchetness. I want to see motherfuckers talking shit. I want them to carry the beef on.
Like, oh my God, if he drops the track where he mentions dudes, man.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And so, I think that's the direction it's going, because when Gucci posted it on his page, he said, Guwap versus the snow cone. So I think because do yourselves a favor, guys. Like, the last sort of promo run that Gucci did, he did a one-on-one with Charlemagne, not on Breakfast Club, just Charlemagne. That was just a crazy dope interview. And then he did the Hot 97 morning show with Rosenberg and Ebro or whatever. And you just like, this dude is just an incredible interview. And I would tell everybody to go watch those interviews, because Charlemagne asked him, like, yo, fam, like, do you feel bad about killing that dude? And he said, hell no, he tried me. Straight up and down. He didn't even
feel bad though? Well, why would you feel bad?
He said, no, he tried me. He tried me.
It was either me or you. And you had to go. That was a dumbass question.
Okay, so Waz, who do you think, let's say they each do their 20 songs, we get to the end of it, who do you see being a winner in this situation if the drama just doesn't go crazy?
I think Jeezy clearly has bigger mainstream joints, right? Like, but Gucci just has more impactful, like that whole, every single thing you see coming out of Atlanta right now, like, Gucci has his fingerprints on, like, from Young Thug to Lil Baby to whoever Metro Boomin, Southside, 808 Mafia, whatever, all of that stuff, Gucci has his fingerprints on. So he's like the most, he's one of the most basically impactful Atlanta dudes ever.
Like, almost like a godfather of Atlanta.
Yeah, 100%. And I think he has those crazy big street records, strip club records. He just doesn't have shit like, Go Getter or Soul Survivor or My President.
But they both do have a cult following, because I remember like everyone loves I feel like Gucci's mainstream follow kind of simmered a little bit. He's not gone, he here, but I mean, compared to back in, what was it, 08, 09, I remember people wanting to be wanting to be so I remember that.
Yeah, and the thing about Jeezy too that I think people need to understand is that, as a New Yorker, right? I remember growing up, we always looked at anybody who wasn't from New York as corny country niggas. We don't fuck with that, right? That was just the arrogant New York mentality, basically up until Cash Money. Because even No Limit, we was like, yo, these some bumpkins, bro. But Cash Money was the first non-New York dudes that kids on my block wanted to be like. We wanted to dress wanted to wear Jabot jeans and white tees and all this type of shit. Yeah. So Cash Money was the first. And then I'll never forget, this had to be 2004, 2005. There used to be this club in New York called Speed, which it was basically the biggest hip hop club in New York at the time, right? And Jeezy was going to perform there. And I remember going to Speed and the line being around the block and everybody had a snowman tee. This is in New York. And I'm like, yo, it's so like Jeezy is a big part of that transition to the South being so dominant. Cause like once it took over New York with like the most arrogant, hard-headed motherfuckers in the world are giving it up to people who not from New York, you know something's changing. I'll never forget that snowman moment, man. It was crazy.
You know what? I will say, like, because I grew up in Las Vegas. So, like, being from
did you know Vegas, Neo? Did you know Neo growing up?
No, but I do know some people that know Neo, though. But, yeah, no, I didn't know Neo growing up. I feel like asked this question during the Zoom.
The way you just said that is interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, so being from Vegas, like, when Jeezy came out, I didn't know he was from Atlanta. Like, and so it goes, you know, to what you were saying, like, his impact in New York. Like, no, he didn't sound like an East Coast dude, but, like, I'm gonna be honest, he was, like, I feel like a little bit like J. Cole, where, like, I didn't know J. Cole was from, North Carolina, you know what I mean? Where it's like, no, where these dudes, you know, come from? So I understand what you mean by, like, you know, his impact. But nah, like Neo, yeah, no, I don't know him.
So are you going to be tuned in now that you know the history of the beat?
I don't know if because I feel like I've been around Jeezy. I haven't been around Gucci, but like you can definitely tell that like they've changed like their, you know, like their life around, like, you know, like in their actions. So I don't think you're going to get the drama that, you know, the real juicy shit that you really want. I don't think it's going to be that.
I wouldn't miss this shit for the world, dog.
Yeah, I'm clearing my schedule. I'm clearing my schedule. I have to watch this.
So are you going to be wearing a snowman shirt? I think we got some.
Because you know what's so crazy? Like,
we can send you some.
Motivation.
I got a TM 104 t-shirt.
Yeah, we got some.
Motivation 101 is one of my favorite albums of all time. But I'm not gonna lie, like I lost a lot of respect for Jeezy throughout that whole Raw situation because I thought he was kind of being a bitch ass nigga about it. And so I don't really have the same feelings that I used to about Jeezy. I'm actually rooting for Guwap in this one. So yeah, definitely. And I'm telling you, I don't think he's gonna be politically correct. Gucci, I don't think Gucci has it in him to do stuff like that. Like he can't do it. He can't. So that's why I have to tune into that.
All right. You know what? I might just go ahead and check it out.
I can't wait. Oh my God. Look, the Southern girl in me is about to I'm about to flourish. I'm about to live. I can't wait. All right, Meek, before we close the show, do you have a quote for us?
Oh, I absolutely do.
We on a winning streak, boo. I can't believe it.
The only thing is I don't know who it's from though. What freedom men and women could have where they not constantly tricked and trapped and enslaved and tortured by their sexuality. The only drawback in the freedom is that without it, one would not be a human, one would be a monster.
Oh,
that's deep. I like that.
Deep. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, Waz, for joining us. We gotta get you back on here.
Come back.
We gotta have you back.
Anytime you need me.
And next time you come back, drinks is going up.
Yeah. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready next time, man. I'm gonna be super ready. Anytime you guys need me, I admire you girls and what you guys are doing. I'm very proud that you guys are part of what we're doing here on the Bomb Network or whatever. So it was an honor to come on and be on with you guys. I was looking forward to this.
Thank you so much. Of course, make sure you guys follow us on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, do all that shit. Of course, make sure you subscribe as well on Apple Podcasts. Visit us at CrazySexyCoolPod.com and social media, Twitter, Instagram, CrazySexyCool Pod. We really appreciate all of the DMs, all the comments, all the interaction. We love.
Yes.
But we're not alone.
We talk back.
Back. Look, so we're on Mondays, Crazy Sexy Cool on Mondays. On Tuesdays, we got Bomb. Wednesdays, we have Wednesday service with Naima. And we also have Woke Bros, Waz's show. And we have Growing Up the Same with Trey. And it's just an incredible lineup. So make sure you are subscribed. You get the notifications every time the episode is up. And
hold on, one last thing before we leave. I wanted to share something with you. So Ben teaches a class to like young up and coming like marketing and advertising people, right?
Hey.
And they took on like they're taking on a project of like trying to help us with our internet marketing and all of this stuff. And one of the guys prepared a slide, and you guys' slide was called Sexy Nasty Cool. And I was like, wait, I was like, yo, bruh, that's not the name of the show. He's like, what? It's not? And so I was like, you know what? That's a great name. And because this happened on like Tuesday, and I was like, I'm actually going on the show on Sunday, and I'm going to share that with you.
Crazy nasty cool. we just cut the sexy out. We just get straight nasty, just straight disgusting, straight filthy with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does get pretty nasty over here. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. What's up? What's up, Meek?
I was gonna say, like, me and B were also discussing this. We would like it to make it like a ongoing thing where we at least have, you know, one of our bros from the Bomb Network come through and sit down with us. So anybody from any other shows, come on, pull up on us.
Come on, pull up. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time. Peace out.